Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this Dell Inspiron 17R5721. So first thing we're going to do is remove the battery. So to do that, just pull these two tabs to the side. Then you can go ahead and lift from back here and pull the battery out. Alright, just like that. The battery model number here, this is an aftermarket battery, but it's MR90Y, so hopefully you can see that. Alright, so the customer said that they were trying to fix their wireless card, and then after that their computer wouldn't turn on, so I'm just gonna see if I can get it to kind of power up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but we'll see. Alright, so to remove the bottom cover here, there's just two screws. You're going to use a PH1 or JS1 screwdriver. Alright, so let's go ahead and undo these two screws. It looks like they actually stay attached to the cover, which is nice because when you undo it, it forms a little gap here, and you can use that to help pull the cover up. Alright, so there we go. Okay, so the customer looks like that they took apart quite a bit of it, so let's go ahead and continue taking it apart. I am going to pop out the BIOS or CMOS battery here, so let's actually zoom in a bit here. To remove that, what you do, I just use my screwdriver and then I push it down and then I lift it out just like this. Alright, it's easier to do it with a flathead screwdriver, but you can do it with this. It actually looks like this case is in the way, so maybe you can't lift the battery out. Let's try with a magnet. Sorry, I know it's off to the side, but I have too much stuff on the other side of my desk, so I can't really move it. Let's see. Let me try that. There we go. Okay, let's see if a magnet can pull it out. And, oh, okay, we got it. So there we go. We got the CMOS, BIOS, RTC clock, whatever you want to call it, out. You got 2 sticks of RAM here, so if you want to remove that, pull these two tabs to the side. There you go. This is a PC3L 12800S, so you can replace your RAM with any PC3L 12800S. I believe you can get 2 8-gig sticks if you want for 16 gigs. They might sell 16 gig sticks, but I'm not sure. Alright, so anyways, now let's go ahead and remove the SSD. So the customer has an SSD in here. Normally this is a hard drive, 2.5-inch SATA hard drive, but they put in an SSD here. I think normally there would be screws down here as well, but the customer must have lost them. Anyways, I'm going to just remove those 2 screws, or the 1 screw that's left there. Alright, once you remove the screws, there's this little tab here. You can use that to pull that to slide it back and remove this. If you're upgrading it to a hard drive, you can actually take these 4 screws out and transfer over an SSD to it. Alright, and that's it. Alright, so that's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. Oh, I think I hear what's wrong. So he must have dropped some screws in there and shorted something out. Anyways, let's go ahead, I guess, and pull this whole thing apart and see if we can fix it. So he's missing the screw here. Normally you would remove that to remove the CD drive, so I'm going to remove the CD drive just like that. Alright, again, normally there would be a screw there. Let's see if anything falls out. Whoa, okay, I found 1 screw. I don't know if there's any other missing things. So it's very important to keep your screws in order. Most likely the customer that tried to do this themselves didn't do that, and that's why they got loose screws rolling around everywhere. I still hear, whoa, okay, they got some broken plastic here. And, oh, there's still a bunch of stuff in there. Wow, so there's a lot of broken pieces of stuff in here. Sorry, I'm trying to grab that to throw it away. Alright, so let's see. I think this model I actually have to remove the keyboard first. So let's go ahead and do that. If I remember correctly, might be wrong, you might not have to, but I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, so to remove the keyboard, let me zoom in a bit here. Okay, so the keyboard itself has these little latches or hooks in it. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but there's one here. So you would get the flat tool there, and then I would get between and then lift it out. And then while it's kind of lifted, I would get my hand underneath to hold it up. So I have my fingers under there holding it up. Then we're going to go on the other side and pop that one out as well. Now you can see this part's up. We'll do the same thing with all the other 2 sides. There we go. Now you're going to flex the middle up, and push the sides down, so it kind of will curve the keyboard like this. And there we go. We can lift the keyboard up. There is something holding this down, so I have to be a little careful. Is there adhesive stuck to it? Maybe they spilled something on it? Because normally I wouldn't think this keyboard would be stuck here. I don't know what's holding it down, but it's stuck. Alright, anyways, you got the keyboard connector there, so we're going to have to flip that latch. I'm going to undo this, and then I'll show it to you guys later what I did, because there's not much room to work here, it looks like. Alright, there we go. So we got that. I think they actually put this connector upside down. The keyboard connector should be underneath. Anyways, we flipped that latch up, and then we pulled the cable out. Same thing with this side. We're going to flip that latch up, and then we'll pull this cable out. Alright, it'll probably be best... Oh, there's some tape here. I'm going to tape that on itself. It'd probably be best to have the keyboard cable underneath for next time. It'll be easier to lift up the keyboard. So I switched it around like that. Keyboard model number, you'll want to check your own, but if you wanted to see this one, this is the model number there. Okay, you see the part number and the model number. You can check both of those if you're trying to find the same exact keyboard. Set that aside. Here's the wireless card. Okay, so I guess that's how they replaced it. I don't know if they took the whole computer apart. Again, I hear lots of rattling inside. I'm going to undo these connectors here, or the latches at least. I don't know if we have to pull them out. Just to be safe, I'm going to press and hold the power button. Usually after removing the battery, you want to press and hold the power button for about 15 seconds just to be extra safe. In this case, there was metal falling, like rolling around, so likely it already shorted out whatever's inside the board and probably messed up things. But yeah. Alright, let's go ahead now and disconnect these. So flip those latches up, pull these cables out. I believe this purple one is for the power button and this blue one is for the trackpad. Alright. Alright, now let's go ahead and get all the screws out for the top cover here. Alright. And you want to keep all these screws in order again because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. If you mix them up, you can damage your computer. So try and keep them as in order as you can. Alright. Okay, got those two. We got this one here. And we got this one here. Hopefully you guys can see everything I'm doing. Okay, so I don't think I have to remove the screws there. That looks like for the fan. There's some more crumbs and junk here. I don't think I have to remove the wireless card, so I'm going to leave that there. Let's slowly, carefully close this. Alright, I'm going to flip this over. Man, there's a lot of broken bits of stuff in here. Okay, I think he fried his computer completely. Anyways, let's throw away this broken stuff. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and remove all the other screws. So there should be a screw here, 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 here. Alright, so he's missing a lot of screws, so I'm going to have to just try and remember where they came from. Alright, again, try and keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. Alright, so we got those. There are two screws that were hidden underneath the CD drive or the optical drive. Keep that in mind. Alright, remove those two as well. Alright, what else? There should also be a screw down here, but it looks like that got missing. Alright, we got two more screws over here, down here, so we're going to remove those. Wow, a lot of these screws are missing, so I don't know. Okay, and then we got one screw on either corner. Oops, let's zoom out here. We got one screw on either corner over here, so let's remove those as well. Okay. Alright, there we go. Let's see, we got everything. Let me confirm. Looks like all the screws are out. Okay, so let's see how we can now pop off this cover. I think it comes out from the top, not the bottom. Yep, so let's flip this over. Wow, I hear all that metal rolling around in there. That is not a good sound. Slowly, carefully open the screen. Alright. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my fingernails in here. Alright, let's see if I can show this. So usually what I do is I get my fingernails in that gap there in the top and I pop it out like that. As you can see, I use my thumbs to push on the bottom and then I pull out, kind of rotating it with my fingernails. So basically grabbing it and twisting it like that. Okay, and that's how we're going to pull the cover off. So we're going to go all the way around. We might have to go around and do the other side later. Alright, so let's see if I can lift from here because I'm running out of desk space. Okay, so I'm running my fingernail through there and pulling it up, as you can see. Alright, we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Work our way over, run my fingernail in there. Again, you can use plastic pry tools, you don't have to use fingernails to do this. I just use it because for me it's more convenient and easier to do. Alright, there we go. Once we got the front and sides, we can kind of just wiggle this and we should be able to pop this back piece out as well. Okay, again, you kind of have to work at it, wiggle it a bit. Huh, it's kind of stuck there. Maybe that's not going to work. Okay, let's close this up a little. And okay, let's go ahead now and go along the edge here and pop that part out if we can. Are there screws I missed? Nope. Okay, but you can actually see this clips from the other side, but let's see. Okay, we got one. Go ahead and pop this out. There we go. Alright, so now we got all of that unclipped. Let's go ahead and flip this back. Now I'm gonna lift that out carefully. Okay, so this foil is all screwed up. So this thing, it's supposed to have melted plastic holding it in place, and this touchpad cable is supposed to be on top, so that's not good. I don't know if you can see that. So this cable is supposed to be on top here. Okay. So I'm gonna pull that up and make sure it stays out of the way. So I don't know if somebody was trying to force this thing out and damaged it. Maybe the customer didn't know what they were doing and then they just yanked on it and destroyed this because they didn't remove the screws underneath the keyboard, possibly. That looks like what happened. Let's get this up. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to go and show the customer this. Alright, but anyways, that's why it's important to kind of know what you're doing and follow the proper order. I don't know if they watched some videos of someone else doing this and skipped around just to the wireless card and then yanked this out. But wow, this thing is like really bent and stuck together, so I don't know how I'm gonna fix that. Alright, but anyways, we got that, so I'm gonna have to shake this out and get all the broken plastic and metal pieces out. But here you can see inside the motherboard, this piece is held in with a press fit, so when you remove all the screws, after you remove these screws and stuff, there's actually 2 screws on the bottom side. Once you remove those 2, you can actually just pull the pieces apart, kind of like Legos. Alright, you got another connector here for this USB port on this side. Speaker connectors here. To remove that, you just grab the wings and you kind of just wiggle these connectors. I'm going to leave it in there. Wireless card is right here. Charge port connector is here. So you can replace the charge port, but you do have to take this whole screen assembly out. If you are going to mess with the LCD LVDS connector here, which is held in with some adhesive, and then it's kind of a pull back connector, again, you want to make sure that you press and hold the power button for 15 seconds, and the power button is attached to this piece. Again, it is this purple connector cable here. So anyways, I'm going to clean this thing up. I'm going to show the customer, and then I'm going to put it back together and see if there was any change. There's more broken bits in here, as you can see. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to bring this out to the customer, and then I'll clean it up, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So we cleaned this out a bit. I don't think it's going to work. Oops, the bottom cover has some dust there I didn't clean. But I have a feeling it's not going to work. There's one piece still rattling inside the computer, but it's inside the speaker, and I don't know how to get it out. It was inside this, it's in that speaker. So anyways, let's go ahead and reassemble this, and Hope it will actually power on. I'm doubtful, but we'll see. All right, so let's get this back in. Make sure the trackpad cable stays on top. It shouldn't be moving around, but because they broke that, yeah. All right, so we'll get that over there. Get everything lined up. Click it all into place. Okay. All right, so we'll lift this latch up, get the power button cable back in, just like that. All right, lift this up, get the trackpad cable back in. Kind of curious if it'll even power up with just this. Okay, so we got that in, put that latch down. All right, let me see here. Let's actually plug it in and see if there's anything that happens at all. So, oh, right now it was shorted to where this charger light, it turned itself off. So I'm gonna have to leave that off. Okay, for a few seconds. Let's try plugging it back in. Okay, the green light's back on. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if that light goes on. Oh yeah, so it's definitely shorted. As you can see, that light shut itself off the moment I plugged it in. That means the motherboard is shorted. So we're kind of at a loss here. This laptop is so old, it's not going to be worth fixing. So they'd be better off finding a used of the same exact model and then swapping the hard drive over. Anyways, let's go ahead and put back all the screws at least. Okay, I don't like leaving all the screws out of the computer, even though it's not repairable. So let's actually go ahead and put those back in. Let's see, do I have this set up right? Okay, so I had one screw here. Let me make sure I'm getting the screws in properly. I think I have an extra screw here. This one. Okay, never mind, I got it right. This one. You still hear some broken stuff rattling in there. That screw. And this screw. Alright, now we're going to get the keyboard in. Oops. Let's get that keyboard in. Okay, so we'll get it up like this. Make sure these latches are up. Just like that and like that. Okay, I'm going to actually put the keyboard backlight connector in first. Just like this. Get it lined up. Into place, flip that latch down, there we go. I'm going to do the same thing with the keyboard connector, line that up, get it in, and then latch that down. Put the bottom feet in first, like that. Hold the middle piece up, get these sides in, alright, just like that, and then you can let it drop down and click that all into place. There we go. We're going to slowly, carefully close this up. Assuming your computer still works at this point. This one's dead completely. It's not going to do anything. But there we go. Alright, let's go ahead now and put back the CD drive, hidden CD drive screws here. Okay, so yeah, I think the customer, they didn't know there were screws underneath the keyboard and they tried to rip it out, and that's how they broke that, because the screws held that down. Alright, so there we go. We'll get the CD drive back in. We'll get the hard drive back in, start it over at the side here. Okay, make sure these metal pieces end up on top. Oh, actually, start it out here, I think. Slide that in. Is that gonna work? Nope. Okay, never mind. We do have to start back here and make sure these metal pieces go up. Slide that in. There we go. Alright. One screw here that doesn't seem to be holding anything. I'm actually pushing this metal tab up into place so it lines up right. Okay, there we go. Now it's actually in place. Okay, let's get the sticks of RAM and we'll put that in as well. Goes in an angle like that. Okay. There we go. Click that into place. Other stick of RAM, same thing at an angle. Click that into place. CMOS BIOS battery, get that in, slide that into place. Alright, and now let's just go ahead and get all these screws back in. So we're going to do the bottom corner down here. Again, there were a lot of missing screws, so I'm just going to put the screws in better places where I can. One screw there. Let's see if I can get one up in this corner. No, that was missing that. I guess that's why those metal pieces probably broke off and are missing from here, so yeah. Alright, so I guess we're just going to put them in random spots. We'll put this screw here. Okay, we'll get this screw and put that down there. I guess that's why the screws were missing. So we had one loose screw, I just put it in that one there. We'll get this screw here. Get the two that were up in this corner here. So this one. And the last one up in this corner, up here. There we go. Then we'll get the battery. Battery goes in at an angle like this, okay? And then you click that down. Then the bottom cover here, the bottom feet go in first here, all right, at an angle. Then you push it down just like that. Click everything into place. And we'll tighten that down. And that's pretty much all there is to this model. I know I didn't take out the motherboard, but the customer just wanted me to check that. So anyways, hopefully this video helped some of you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others. If it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Let's drop this spike.
Broken phone now.